In this video tutorial, I'll walk you through the process of creating and using dashboards for visualizing performance and availability data collected by Azure Monitor. Dashboards are near real-time views that allow you to monitor resources, quickly launch tasks for day-to-day operations, and they can be customized to meet the requirements for various user roles and shared across teams in your organization. You can use dashboards to monitor resource utilization, application performance, and end-user experience based on metric and log data collected and stored by Azure Monitor. You can often view the performance and availability of resources directly in their individual resource blades, but dashboards extend visualization options to include data correlation across multiple resources and to provide full-stack visibility in centralized views. For example, you may want to view application performance and infrastructure health on a single screen, or compare the performance of two instances of the same app deployed across different geographic regions. Dashboards make it easy to create views with any combination of tables, charts, maps, and shortcuts based on user-defined criteria. The use cases are completely up to you and what you consider important, but I'll highlight a few common scenarios in the upcoming demonstrations. Now, you do have the option of adding content to the dashboard using the tile gallery. However, the easiest way to build out a monitoring dashboard is to simply pin the desired visualizations from an insight or from a view that you've already created in Metrics Explorer. The dashboard for this demo combines application and infrastructure views in a single pane of glass. I'll start by adding a tile of an application map for an overall app perspective. This shows which components of the app communicate with each other and if there are any back-end dependencies. Let's go a step further to see compute resources used by the app. Now we can see that this component of the app is running on a virtual machine, so I can monitor basic VM utilization metrics such as CPU, memory, and disk usage. I'll go ahead and navigate to Metrics Explorer, create a chart of average and max CPU usage, and I'll also pin that to my dashboard. First, I'll click on Metrics, and this launches Metrics Explorer with the scope limited to the VM of interest. Then I'll choose percentage CPU as my metric and leave the default aggregation as average. Then I can add a metric for percentage CPU again, and this time I'll switch the aggregation type to maximum. And the final step here is to add it to my existing dashboard just like we did before. Now that I have some content on the dashboard, let's look at some of the settings that are available to me. First, I'll quickly resize the size of my application map tile so that I can see the big picture. Next, the auto refresh interval controls the frequency at which data is updated, while time range and granularity control how far back in time the dashboard evaluates and the level of precision used. The last dashboard setting I'll point out is filters, where a single filter can be applied across the entire dashboard to all the relevant tiles. Moving on to tile settings, time span, time granularity, and time zone can all be set at the individual tile level to override dashboard settings. In this next scenario, I want to highlight a few of the different visualization sources that can be used to create a dashboard. First up, I'll drill down from my dashboard to the Application Insights resource to view some of the available out-of-the-box visualizations. I'll keep this one simple and pin the line graph of availability to my dashboard. This tracks the up or down status of my app's public-facing URL. The visualization focuses on app availability, but I'd like to transition to look at infrastructure resources supporting the app. I'll take another look at my app map to see what back-end dependencies may be important. Here, I can see that my app makes calls out to various storage services. I can take advantage of an existing chart from an insight. In this case, I'll navigate to the storage account of interest and view the storage insight. This is an out-of-the-box, curated monitoring view built on workbooks. What's great about this is, the work to create frequently used charts and graphs has already been done, and I can simply pick the one that I want and pin it to my dashboard directly. In this case, I'll use transactions by API name and spend a moment rearranging my tiles. For the next part of the demonstration, I'll work on creating shortcuts to commonly used views. For example, the blades used to evaluate failures and performance will often be accessed by my team. So I'll add them both using pin to dashboard, and I'll do a quick resize on the tiles. This makes it more convenient for users of the dashboard to reach these views with a single click. Keep in mind that other tiles can also be used in the same way to drill down to the underlying view or resource on which it is based. After some rearranging and resizing, I can then share my dashboard by publishing it to a resource group and use the standard Azure RBAC to share access across my team. So as mentioned before, by drilling down from the dashboard, I can jump back to my Application Insights Performance blade. Here I can see that several charts and tables are based on data stored in Azure Monitor logs. I want to focus on response time and specifically the line graph of average response time. From the UI, I can easily get to the median, the 95th percentile, or the 99th percentile, but I can't change the setting to maximum or minimum. The advantage of working with log queries is that I can quickly edit the query by adding and removing filters and summarization modes as I see fit. Here, I'll add the min and max response times to go along with the average, which was included automatically. Next, I'll run the query to ensure it works as expected, and just as in all the other cases, I'll pin it to the dashboard. So the end result is a dashboard that contains several application and infrastructure performance views from both metric and log data. This provides various perspectives on the application and the resources it's consuming. Remember, some of these views were simply repurposed from existing insights, and others were created using Metrics Explorer and log queries. This tutorial highlights the ease of use and flexibility that dashboards provides for specific situations and user roles in your organization.